The High Court in Cape Town has dismissed taxi umbrella body Santaco's interdict application to prevent the city from impounding their vehicles. The court has also granted the city's request that terms of the agreement which ended the minibus strike be made an order of the court. Let's get some reaction. We are now joined by Western Cape's Minister, MEC, of Mobility, Ricardo Mackenzie. A very good evening to you, sir. Thanks very much for joining us.
Good evening, and thank you for having me this Friday evening.
All right, let's get then your reaction. Indeed, it seems that you have welcomed the High Court's dismissal of the South African National Tax Council's interdict application against the impounding of their vehicles. With welcoming this, are you not concerned about the agitation, perhaps, of taxi operators in the Western Cape?
No, we're actually not concerned. I think this High Court action this afternoon gave clarity of what we all have been talking about the last few days, because first, it makes the agreement that we've reached with Santaco Western Cape, ourselves, the City of Cape Town, as an order of court. Second, it dismisses the misinformation that has been flowing around the last few days about a moratorium on impoundment. So what the court has clearly indicated is what we have given in writing, the written agreement, and Santaco Western Cape need to communicate urgently with their members under what conditions vehicles can be impounded and under what conditions vehicles cannot be impounded. I think that's the most important.
And
part.
let's talk about those conditions. Yeah. All right. Let's talk about those conditions then that warrant the impounding, and how clear not only yourselves but certainly the courts have been with regards to what it takes for the impounding of these particular taxis. And is there an understanding from Santaco? It seems not, because otherwise they wouldn't be approaching the court. So let's talk about these terms and conditions and what relates to the impounding.
Yes, there are three conditions, and there has been an understanding because the agreement was given to them. So they know about those conditions, so I don't know whether it went to court today. But the conditions are unroadworthy vehicles without a driver's license or without a PDP. Those are conditions in law.
Do you believe that as a city of Cape Town, in your negotiations with taxi operators in general, that you have been negotiating in good faith?
We have been negotiating with Santaco in good faith. In fact, I've been the lead negotiator with Santaco since day one in good faith, so much so that on Thursday night, when they released an early press statement saying the strike has been called off, we have not finalized the agreement. If we were negotiating in bad faith, we could have pulled that agreement off, but we didn't. We still continued to sign that agreement late after they called off their strike, before an agreement was reached.
Yeah. What do you make of Santaco saying that, they in fact feel vindicated by what's now happened, as their vehicles can only be impounded on those three grounds that you in fact did mention as well, those three grounds stipulated by the court ruling? Is there a sense then that their vehicles had been impounded for any other reasons outside of those three reasons that have been stipulated that you, of course, then also spoke about?
What we've said to Santaco since day one, give us a list of vehicles that you feel has been unfairly impounded. To this day, we have not received that list. Part of the agreement is that over the next 14 days, us, the City of Cape Town, and Santaco will sit in their task team. We'll go through the list, and the City of Cape Town will make representations to the NPA to release those vehicles that has been wrongly impounded. But we have not received that list.
Yeah. And how's the situation going in the Western Cape? I must tell you, I was in Cape Town last week. It seemed that things had been sort of going normally. It seemed that the taxis were on the roads, and I certainly didn't see any violence in my time there. How are things going? And do you worry that, though, there might be that underlying tension? I know I started earlier by asking about the fact that, this might agitate taxi operators, but just, as a general statement, is this peace a long-lasting one, or is there, a little bit of tension that could, of course, come up at some point, especially regarding this issue of impounding?
Well, we hope so, and we are extremely hopeful that this peace is a long-lasting one. Santaco has now come back to the task team. They've written to me. They are attending the meeting next week, Tuesday, and we hope that peace is a long-lasting one, because commuters deserve safe and reliable transport.
Yeah. All right, Ricardo Mackenzie, thanks very much for giving us your time there. That is the MEC for Transport in the Western Cape.